Hi, I'm Charles with AniCap. The story begins as a hard worker named Noor does some jobs around town. He's well respected by everyone for his work ethic, and he makes a decent living. One day when being paid, Noor hears a girl calling for help, and he rushes into a cave to find that she's being attacked by a ferocious beast. A look back to 15 years ago shows a young Noor making some medicine for his sick mother. The hardworking Noor gets ready to bring in the goats, so his mother reminds him not to go beyond a certain rock. His mother is clearly very sick, so Noor plans to go make her some more tea, but his mother stops him. She apologizes for not being able to do anything for him, and she tells Noor to live the life he wants. That night, Noor makes dinner, but he's terrified when he finds that his mother passed away. Noor puts his mother to rest the next day and begins learning how to live life all on his own. Noor's life is filled with responsibility, but he has no one by his side. One night, Noor finds a book, and it triggers a memory from when his father used to read to him. This story in particular was about an adventurer that slayed a dragon with his friends. He learned magic spells from a sorcerer and broke a curse that was cast upon a forest. The adventurers group was highly respected as they always raised their swords and struck down evil for the sake of their friends. Noor is still in awe of this adventurer, and he remembers how his mother told him to live the life he wanted to live. One day, Noor decides to leave town for the first time ever, and he declares that he will become an adventurer. Noor says goodbye to his deceased parents and exits the barrier protecting his home. After days of traveling, Noor is amazed by the sight of the gigantic royal capital. He enters it for the first time ever and marvels at all the people there. He is especially amazed by one guy that looks like an adventurer, and he eventually arrives at his destination. It's the Adventurers Guild that the guards at the front gate told him about, but the clerk tells him to leave as it's not a place for kids. He tells Noor to go back to his parents, but Noor reveals that they both passed away. The clerk warms up to him a bit and explains that those wanting to register at the Royal Capital's Adventurers Guild must first take lessons at the Royal Training Schools. He suggests that if Noor really wants to become an adventurer, then he must acquire some skills first. Noor hears that this means stuff like magic and the art of the sword, so he gets excited to go to the schools. Heroes in storybooks are strong enough to defeat dragons as big as mountains with just one strike, so Noor is eager to learn how to become a hero. Noor attends the School of Heroes, but he can only watch as his classmates begin unlocking their magical powers. Noor's instructor eventually grows tired of waiting for Noor to unlock his powers and tells him that continuing to try would only be a waste of his time. The only thing Noor has learned to do is parrying to evade an attack. The instructor thinks that Noor should choose a different path, and he suggests that he try a different training school. Noor does and arrives at a school for warriors. Warriors risk their lives as shields for their friends, so Noor finds some optimism because that is pretty close to being an adventurer. Warrior training is incredibly grueling, but even after a few months of training, Noor's physical abilities only improve slightly. The instructor warns that he will lose his life if he continues to push himself, so Noor is told to try hunter training instead. Unfortunately, Noor is told that he is terrible with delicate weaponry, so he tried thief training instead. He isn't suited for that either though, so he tries magic training. Noor is only able to create the tiniest flame even after months of training, and Gandalf is shocked because it's rare to see people as incapable of using magic as Noor is. Noor's last attempt is to become a cleric, but he can barely manage to heal scratches after months. The clerk is shocked to hear that Noor couldn't learn a single useful skill after spending 3 months training at each school, and he unfortunately tells Noor that he cannot register as an adventurer. The discouraged Noor realizes that he is no prodigy and returns home. He is more sure than ever that he has no talent. However, this does not stop the spirited Noor, and he declares that he just needs to train much harder. Noor makes his own sword and remembers what his sword instructor told him. He said that if Noor practices one skill repeatedly, he might be able to master a new skill. Parrying was the only real skill he acquired from training, so he decides to train it morning, noon, and night for as long as he can. 1 year passes and Noor has increased his parrying skill so much that he can now evade 10 swords in one breath. He doesn't have any new skills yet, but his parrying has improved immensely. 3 years later, Noor is now able to evade 100 swords in one breath. However, he still doesn't have any new skills, so Noor determines that he has no chance of ever becoming an adventurer. Noor continues training though, eventually destroying his sword and seeing a light in his hand. Noor is incredibly determined and decides that he needs to train even harder. 10 years later, Nor thinks about how he is trained every day without fail, and he can now parry 1,000 wooden swords. Unfortunately, he still has not achieved any new skills. Nor decides to try and become an adventurer one last time and heads back to the capital. At the guild, the clerk sees that he only knows the weakest skills. She suggests that he go to the training schools, but Nor explains that he has already tried all of them. The girl apologizes because Nor cannot be allowed to register, but Nor expected this. Just then, the old clerk appears, but he doesn't recognize Nor. He eventually remembers him, and he's glad to hear that Nor has been training on his own. Nor explains that it hasn't gone well at all though, because he only managed to improve his parrying skill a little. The old guy explains that adventurers are ranked from E to S rank. In order to be recognized as an E rank, a person must have more than one useful skill. Nor's sad list of skills doesn't show anything useful, so Nor's dreams are crushed again. However, the old clerk says that there's more than one way to become an adventurer. There is actually something lower than E rank, and that is F rank. Nor can't believe that he might still be able to become an adventurer this way, but there are some conditions. He would be forbidden from taking any quest that involve taking lives or venturing out of the city to gather items. This means that he will only be able to accept tasks around the city. No one bothers becoming an adventurer this way, but the clerk is shocked when Nor eagerly wants to do it. Nor registers, so the clerk gives him his F rank adventurer license. The clerk doesn't think it's a big deal, but this is life-changing for Nor, so he thanks him. Nor enhances his strength a bit and gets right to work doing tasks around the town. He also increases his speed to catch a cat and uses heal to fix some scratches he got from the cat. Nor uses his tiny flame to make dinner and a rock trick to entertain some kids. Nor has finally achieved his dream of becoming an adventurer that helps people, and he fears that asking for anything more would be too much. We then return to the present, where Nor runs into the cave and finds people being attacked by a monster. Nor has only seen monsters in books, and he's shocked to see how big it is. Some guards try to protect a girl, and the captain gets attacked. Nor goes to check on him, but finds that the captain is already gone. The monster ferociously attacks the other guards, and Nor can tell that they won't survive. Seconds later, Nor's fear proves to be correct, as the monster eradicates all the guards. The beast turns its attention to the girl, but Nor uses a stone throw attack to get its attention. Nor knows what he has to do, so he runs to get some space, and he realizes how fast the beast is. Nor then turns to it and uses parry, which sends the monster flying. The beast attacks him, so Nor uses his parrying skill, but he knows that he will lose his life if he gets hit by an attack. Nor's plan is to wait for an opening so he can counterattack, but he remembers that that won't work because he doesn't have any attack skills. Nor sees that the girl still hasn't run away, and the monster seems to be attracted to her ring. The monster goes to attack her, but Nor uses his feather step ability to speed up, and he parries its attack. His sword shatters, but Nor declares that even if he can't become an adventurer hero, he wants to at least be able to protect this girl. Nor remembers how his father said that adventurers raise their swords to strike down evil for the weak, and he prepares himself for the monster's attack. Nor then uses parry with perfect timing to stop the beast's attack, and Nor's parry slices the monster's head right off. Nor realizes that he would have been a goner if the monster was any bigger, and he now knows how unrealistic it would be for him to travel the world and go on adventures at his current level. The girl thanks Nor for saving her life, and she would like to know his name. Nor simply says that he is no one important and leaves. That night, Nor thinks about how one monster who wasn't even a demon was such a problem for him. He shakes uncontrollably and once again determines that he must continue to train harder. Thanks for watching my recap. Subscribe to the channel to help us make the push to 700,000 subscribers.